I'll give you my prediction for the playoffs after this. So I think the 1 seed will be Michigan. I think the 2 seed will be the winner of Oregon and Washington. The 3 will be Alabama, and the 4 will be Georgia. That's just a bold prediction. And you can clip that.
Clip it.
Eddie, you have a playoff prediction?
I do.
Let's hear it.
I think Florida State gets in. I think they go undefeated. Florida State, the 4. Michigan is going to be your number 2 team. No, your number 1 team, because I do believe Bama
will
win and get in over Texas.
What about Georgia? Are you kicking Georgia out?
I am.
And you're going to put Oregon in?
I am.
Okay. So you have Michigan at 1, Oregon at 2.
Yeah.
Bama at 3, Florida State at 4.
Can
you imagine?
That's absurd.
Can you imagine this? Imagine
it's not
this.
that crazy.
It's pretty
Imagine
crazy.
this. Imagine this. Just hypothetical. Zach will break his phone. If Michigan is number 1, check Michigan at 1, Georgia or Florida State at 2, Alabama at 3, and Georgia at 4. And Oregon beating Washington.
It's possible.
It's very
so
possible.
possible.
And Zach breaks his phone.
I don't think Florida State gets to 2.
I don't think.
Well, the thing is, you can't. If Bama beats Georgia, then you can't have Georgia at 2. You can't jump Bama from 7 to 2 or 8 to 2.
And you also can't have Georgia above.
And you can't have Georgia above Bama.
And you can't have Georgia above Florida State, which is an undefeated champ.
Right. But you can't.
I don't have Georgia in.
Right. You would. This is a hypothetical, though.
Okay,
This is a hypothetical I'm giving you. If, let's say, Oregon beats Washington, but Bama beats Georgia.
Yeah.
And you bring Bama in, and you bring Bama, you'd have to bring Bama all the way to 3 and Georgia to 4.
Can I give you a scenario?
Yeah.
All right. So we have undefeated Michigan. All right.
Number 1.
Number 1. Undefeated Georgia. Number 2. 1 loss Pac-12 Oregon. 2 loss Texas, so out. 1 loss Florida State, so out. Do you put in Ohio State or do you put in UW?
No, Washington.
It
depends, actually.
I think it depends a lot.
depends on how bad you lose to Oregon.
How bad you lose, I think.
Yes.
It depends.
Yeah, but if you look at the last 5 games, if you're just going to compare Washington and Ohio State and both with a loss, there's no way that Washington
has a better strength of
I don't give a fuck the strength of schedule. The last 5 games they played have been terrible. Arizona State, Stanford, Washington State. You barely beat those teams.
I would put in Ohio State.
Yeah, Ohio State over Washington.
I would put in Ohio State.
But you need all those teams to lose.
Yeah.
I put in Ohio State over Texas.
If they win the championship?
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
The committee's not.
Yeah, but I don't give a shit. I'm just telling you what I do. What I do. If all those teams lost and Texas still won, I don't give a shit that Texas beat Oklahoma State. I don't care.
I don't care either.
I'd prefer to see Ohio State and Marvin Harrison Jr. at the 4 seed than see Texas fucking get their ass kicked by Michigan. I'd like to see Michigan, Ohio State one more again. One more time.
Can we just applaud the fact that there's not a bullshit Cincinnati, TCU, group of 5 undefeated?
What do you mean no bullshit?
No, I'm applaud it because I'm so glad it's just powerhouse football teams in the top 7.
In reality, we can look at Florida State. If they got in, they'd be a bullshit 4 team.
No, not a bullshit. Agreed. Not bullshit in the sense of.
I'll tell you something. Yeah, no, they deserve it. They're gonna get their ass whooped. They would. Florida State against Michigan today gets their ass whooped.
Florida
State against
Georgia. Those teams they get their ass whooped.
I understand you're talking about a powerhouse program.
Yeah.
The team is not a powerhouse.
No, but they're a powerhouse program. They're not.
That's fine.
They're not a group of 5. Cincinnati, Tulane, or
I'll tell you what.
TCU.
To me, the top 2 teams are Michigan and Georgia, and from there on,
it's a drop.
It's a drop, even with Oregon.
Even with Ohio State too.
That's bullshit.
I would love.
It's a big drop.
It's not a big drop. They lost by 6.
As the Pac-12 goes out in a blaze of glory, I would love for Rafa to have to admit that the Pac-12 got 2 teams in the playoffs.
It's impossible.
It's not impossible.
It's impossible. 100% impossible. You think that, listen, when you look at the body of work of Washington in the last 6 weeks, you're going to tell me that they're better than Ohio State?
Who's Ohio State beat?
Penn State.
Notre Dame and Penn State.
Please. Notre Dame
should have
won. They had
Notre Dame should have won that
They
game.
had 9 dudes on the field.
Oh, that was their fault.
Okay, they lost.
They should have lost. Notre Dame should have beat Ohio State.
They should have, but they didn't.
But they didn't. Dude, Ohio State just played the number 1 team in the country, who we think is the best team in the country, and they were right there. They were 1 mistake away from winning that game. When the fuck has any of these other teams been 1 play away with the exception of Oregon against Washington? I'm sorry.
Ohio,
I agree with Robo.
Michigan scored on every freaking possession in the
They
second
scored
half.
30 points.
In
It was 30 to 24.
Every possession in the second half, they fucking scored.
They barely won the game.
Because it's conservative. Jacob said it earlier. I was listening. Both teams played not to make mistakes. Offense was predictable. They played exactly how they play.
You think Washington's better than Ohio State? If Washington loses, you think Washington would be better than Ohio State?
I think Washington
with the
Ohio
quarterback.
State is a 3-point game.
I go with the quarterback.
What?
I go with the quarterback.
Absolutely.
That line is at
Fucking
least
mind. It was
Kyle
a 3-point
McCord-
game against
Kyle
Arizona
Mc-
State.
Kyle
Kyle,
line is
whatever
at
the
least
fuck
10
his
to
last
open.
name is not
McLeod.
out fucking throwing Michael Penix
Agree.
Jr.
You're right. You know
Agree.
what? You know what? But the other fucking 21 guys on the field for Ohio State are all better.
Who's covering Mbuka?
Who's guarding Marvin Harrison
So
Jr.?
they're going to go back and forth. Like I
They're
said,
not going
3-point
back
game.
and forth.
They're
absolutely
They didn't
going
go back and forth with Arizona
They're
State.
absolutely going
They
back and
barely
forth.
beat Washington
They're
State.
absolutely going back and
CJ,
forth.
you're out of your fucking mind.
I'm not out of my fucking mind at all.
Yes, you are.
CJ.
Washington and Ohio State is easily a 3-point game.
Listen.
No.
Easily.
What?
Easily.
I know you don't understand point
I
spreads.
understand
No, you
everything
don't.
about it.
No, you
I
don't.
understand everything about it.
This
Vegas
man
would
is
come
out of his mind.
I am not.
Minimum
If
10.
Washington
not.
Minimum
Okay.
10.
Okay.
listen,
Hey, he hasn't said shit all podcast.
and then he blurts out with
Actually.
the bullshit.
No,
he
but
starts
absolutely
speaking
not.
gibberish.
Absolutely not. I watch more college football than you. I watch more college football than you.
No, you
I watch
don't.
more college
No, you
football
don't.
than you. Yes,
no,
I
you don't.
absolutely
No,
do.
you do not.
Yes, I absolutely
listen,
do.
CJ, you are out of your mind.
No, I'm not.
CJ, listen. So you understand?
They beat Stanford.
No. They barely beat Stanford. They barely beat Arizona State at home.
That's fine.
At home. They barely beat Washington State at home.
That's fine.
All those games were at home.
That's fine.
So, yeah, that's fine. That's
fine.
your opinion.
That is
I
my
guarantee you Vegas has a simulated line that Ohio State's favored by 7. Ohio State is better at every fucking position
Bullshit.
Bullshit.
except for quarterback.
Bullshit.
Bullshit.
Washington has a first round receiver, first round left tackle, a first round quarterback.
Ohio State has the receiver. The motherfucking
They don't
receiver.
have a guy to throw to the receiver.
Really?
Yeah.
How many
It's
touchdowns
about
did he have this year?
quarterback. It's about quarterback.
It's not about
It's
quarterback.
absolutely about the quarterback.
You know who made the
Not
title
in
game last year?
college.
You know who made the title game last year? TCU. You know who their quarterback was? Can you name him?
Oh my!
He was
He was
amazing.
amazing in the
Was he
college football
amazing?
playoff.
In the playoff, he was amazing.
Duncan was absolutely amazing in the playoff.
It's
college
Max
football playoff.
Duggan,
It's
not
Max
Tim Duncan.
He was
not Tim
amazing.
Duncan.
Not Tim
Even you
Duncan.
said
You
he
said
was
Tim
amazing.
Duncan.
I did
Yeah,
not
he
say
was
Tim, I
amazing
said
until he
Duggan.
faced Georgia. Until he faced Georgia.
Well,
Sorry.
that
I mean,
defense-
everybody was shitty against Georgia
Yeah.
last year.
Not CJ Stroud.
CJ Stroud.
The fuck he was.
Look who CJ Stroud is now.
Yeah.
Exactly. He's great.
Washington cannot hold Ohio State's fucking nutsack.
It would be a 3-point
I
game.
disagree.
A 3-point game. It's been a
Absolutely.
3-point game against garbage teams.
And they've won.
They're conference games. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Conference games against
Lava,
nobody.
do you hear this?
Against nobody.
It's not-
It's because they're such Pac-12 homers. That conference,
That's insane
that conference has been a roller coaster of up and down. You started, SC was the number 6 team in the country, not ranked. UCLA, Colorado, Arizona State. The only thing that team has, conference has going is Oregon and Arizona. That's it.
Or so Washington just doesn't exist.
If they lose tomorrow
They're
and if
undefeated.
they get annihilated on Friday, yes, throw them out.
We will see.
Throw them out.
We will see.
I hope they win. Trust me, I hope they win.
We will see.
For life, but I hope they win. But I don't think they will. I don't think they will. And if they do, then we will all say, well, Oregon only beat one ranked team. By the way, did you know that? Oregon only beat one ranked team. Okay. Just so you know. One fucking ranked win all year long. All year long. One ranked team.
And
And
Ohio,
State beat Penn State and Notre Dame.
Top 10
Congrats.
team.
Two horrible teams.
Penn State is a top 10 team in the country.
Oh, come on.
Eddie Money, what's Penn State
No,
ranked?
no. We're not.
We're not doing the rankings. We're fucking throwing out the
Penn
rankings.
State is horrible.
Penn State's
man. You know
garbage.
that.
Penn State plays their style.
Played so well.
Dude,
What?
yes. Penn State, what? Give me the rankings, Eddie Money. Do we know what Penn State's ranked? They're in the
Garbage.
top 10.
They're Oscar the Grouch in the fucking garbage can.
Number 10.
They're number 10 in the country. So we're just throwing that fucking win
You've
away.
seen that offense play, correct?
You've seen
They're-
Stanford.
Eddie.
You've seen ASU.
Yeah,
You've seen
all
Penn
these
State
trash-
and you've seen Penn State play the only 2 meaningful games on their schedule. You've seen Penn State lose the only 2 meaningful games on their schedule. And you've seen Washington
Better
play
teams.
7-point games and win. They're undefeated.
Yeah, and Oregon has played one ranked team.
That's
Not
fine.
as good as Penn State, by the way.
So you're
Yes,
saying
100%.
you
Or
said
Penn State is Oregon better than Oregon State.
Oh my!
Oh my God, are you kidding? A team who loses to Washington
Penn State would
You
control
think
that
Penn
game
State?
easily.
You think Penn State would beat Oregon?
Oregon State?
Do you think? No. I'm not talking Oregon State.
I said the best team that Oregon beat, the only ranked team they beat,
Okay,
was
correct.
Oregon
I
State.
thought you said something
Penn
else.
State is better than Oregon State, and it's not even close.
Okay, I'm not gonna argue with that.
Yeah, of course not. You can't argue the team that doesn't have a fucking conference.
Yes, I'm gonna argue with the team that hasn't fucking beat anybody that's meaningful on their schedule. Congrats, you lost to Ohio State and Michigan.
I think he forgets that good teams win and
Great
great
teams
teams
cover.
cover.
I think that I forget that Penn State loses to Michigan or Ohio State every single year.
It's
Oh
like,
my God, they lose to
it's-
the top 3
it's
teams.
literally-
They lose to the
it's
two
literally
meaningful
in their
teams on their
handbook.
schedule while
It's
Washington
in
is
their
undefeated.
handbook. Bro, like, listen, when you sign up at Penn State, like, oh, you commit, they tell you right here, listen, we're going to go 10-2 this year. Our 2 losses, that's already locked in. That's like a lock. It's like a lock. Like, we're going to be a top 12 team, but
great,
we're
yeah,
not
take
beating
that.
Ohio State and Michigan. That's it. We all know that.
Who's Penn State projected to play in a bowl game? Because they're going to lose. I don't
They're
give
gonna
a
lose.
fuck who
Bowl
loses.
games are
lose.
overrated. We can't go by that anymore.
Oh my god,
Guys, these guys don't show. Some of the guys don't play.
Stop. They're going to.
I kind of agree with that.
Guys don't play. You know who lost the bowl game and he played threw like 6 touchdowns? The Trojans. The Trojans. You know who they lost to? Tulane. Tulane. Too motherfucking
They did lose
lame.
to Tulane.
Yeah, they should be too lame, but they beat the
Rafa's
Trojans.
speaking facts,
Dude.
man.
Speaking facts about Penn State, congrats.
Rafa's
Dude,
speaking facts,
guys.
That's about Penn
Also,
State.
it was only an 8-point loss against Ohio State and a 9-point loss against Michigan.
What'd you
Yeah.
say? What'd you say?
Not even that
Lost.
crazy.
Lost. It's an 8-point, 10-point, 3-point, 5-point loss every
Michigan
year.
ran
So
the
Arizona
ball.
State's good because they only lost to Washington by 7? Monsters!
Undefeated.
Oh,
Dude,
dude.
Haven't lost a game.
You hit your.
Haven't lost a game.
Never mind.
Let's put a bow
He's a
on
lost
this.
cause. He's a lost
No,
cause.
I'm not. I'm an undefeated Washington cause right now.
Let's put a bow on this. Those are our college football. Hawks, you have a college football prediction? The top 4.
Give us something bold. Clip all of this, Eddie Money.
this is a YouTube video.
I don't have any prediction. I just came for the actual top 12 next year.
Oh, dude.
That's gonna
We
be
needed
good.
that 1 year
That's
too
the top.
late.
I'm over the top 4. This shit's garbage.
We needed that this year.
Agree.
Zach chimes in now.
Zach, who do you
Oh,
have
okay,
in
here
your
we go.
top 4?
Says, oh no. He says Penn State is not a juggernaut, Rafa. So and then CJ's mouthing off. He goes, "Tell him, CJ." And then he also says Pac-12 is better than the Big Ten.
Yeah. Not so much.
This year.
Rick
No,
also-
they're not.
This year.
How many ranked teams do you have?
Pac-12?
Yeah, how many? Just quick.
I mean, shit,
Have you
I
watched
can't-
more
I'm-
college
I'm-
football than every motherfucker here?
Okay,
no,
Washington.
you don't.
Washington.
That's it.
Oregon.
And that's it.
Arizona.
Uh-huh. And that's it. Stop. It's over.
Trying to think of who else is in the.
You might say Oregon
they
State.
left out Utah.
They left out Utah.
They left out Utah. They ranked Tennessee.
That's,
Are you kidding
that's
me?
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Are you? They ranked Tennessee.
Utah has what, 4 losses?
And Tennessee has what? 4? 3 or 4? They have 3?
And they played Georgia
Tennessee's
and Alabama.
garbage.
Tennessee played Georgia and Alabama and LSU.
And got their ass beat.
Tennessee should not be ranked. In
Tennessee
the top
should not
25.
be. Tennessee should not be ranked.
I agree.
Tennessee should not be ranked.
Oh my
No.
God, they're horrible.
They're garbage.
They're horrible.
Joe Milton is terrible.
They're horrible. Tennessee's horrible. They have no business in the top.
No
25.
business in top.
Are you
25.
kidding? So they're not better than Oregon State?
I'm not saying
What
that.
have you seen?
That would be another 3-point, 7-point game.
A 3.7 game. Where do you have zero knowledge of
That would be a
lines?
3-point to 7-point game.
Dude, you are out of your mind. But listen, I'll tell you the Big Ten teams that are ranked: Iowa, Ohio State, Michigan.
Iowa.
Yes,
You're gonna
Iowa's
bring up
ranked.
Iowa.
I'm just
You're
telling you
gonna
they're
bring
ranked.
up Iowa.
I'm just telling you they're ranked.
They suck.
They're ranked.
They score 3 points a game.
They're still ranked.
The
suck.
opponent only scores maybe 10 points. a
They
game.
They're
suck.
still ranked.
They suck.
But they're still ranked.
They
That's what we're
finish-
talking about. We're talking about rankings. The Big Ten has 3 teams in the top 10. 3. So opinions of actual people who actually vote for that shit and are selected to do that don't agree with you.
The same people who are a part of all of those conferences. The same person who Bobby Green, who was what the
CJ.
president of Iowa, I think. It's
CJ.
always somebody who is a leader of a school or a conference.
Yeah,
so they
that's
all have
leader of
agendas.
Iowa's making sure that Iowa's in the top 25.
Yes.
Oh,
Iowa
my.
wins 10 games every year.
Every year.
and they're not very good. And it's
Good enough to win 10 games.
Beat USC probably.
in the Big
In
Ten.
the Big Ten. The Big
Still
Ten
win
West,
10.
by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, still win 10 games, though, no?
Yeah, Big Ten West. Illinois and Rutgers and
You guys forget that there's Stanford and Arizona State and Washington State.
yeah, and there's
You forget
Rutgers and
that?
Illinois and
Colorado.
Northwestern and Northwestern
and Colorado and fucking
Rutgers
USC and UCLA,
and
who are the
Rutgers
biggest disappointments in all of college
and
football.
Northwestern and Iowa and And I could just keep naming the same teams
You're
in the Big
wonderful.
Ten.
Keep naming them
Yeah.
all. Keep naming them all. But guess who doesn't struggle against those garbage ass teams? The top 3 teams in that conference. You know who struggles against all those garbage teams in the Pac-12? Washington.
And wins.
Check.
And wins.
Check.
Undefeated.
Still
Undefeated.
struggled.
Undefeated.
For you to come out and say
You just brought up
Washington's
Iowa,
better
who scores
than
7.
Ohio State.
You just brought up Iowa, who scores 7-3, and then mentioned Washington, who wins by 7.
And they're projected to win by 21.
Yes. And
Okay,
24
Iowa's garbage.
and
They scored
27.
10 a game.
Okay, but if
That's-
Michigan was close to all those teams, you would use that against them, but they don't. They blow them
They
out.
blow them
Yeah,
the
I'm
fuck
not
out.
arguing that that Washington's
yeah.
better than Michigan.
No, but you're saying that the conference, because Washington barely beats these teams, they're good. But Michigan barely beat
No, I'm
Iowa,
saying that Washington
barely
should
beat
get
these
credit
teams.
for being undefeated. They're undefeated.
They got credit. They're the fucking number 3 team in the country. They
No, but
have
you're
the
saying
credit.
it as if like Washington, if they're undefeated, that they're just some bullshit team getting in the playoff.
I said if they lose one game, there should be zero scenario where they get in with one loss. Zero. Fucking none.
Against Ohio State, I think they have a chance. I think the committee. gives
How
them a
could
real
you
chance.
say you don't watch enough college
I
football
watch all the
to
college
fucking
football in the
think
world.
that?
I watch all the college
So
football in
you
the world.
watch Washington against Arizona State at home, and you think that team at home should be barely beating an Arizona State team, a team with 3
Yes,
wins.
an Arizona State team who you think plays tough. Arizona
they
State
just
team who
lost by
plays
50.
tougher. Arizona State
50.
team. Arizona State team that plays tougher than fucking Northwestern, than fucking
That's
Rutgers,
not
Indiana.
in Indiana, than Purdue. That
That's
plays tougher
fine.
than
You-
all those teams.
Did you say Rutgers?
Yes.
Yeah, not tougher than Rutgers.
Not tougher than
just
Rutgers.
Not tougher than
They
Rutgers.
play okay.
Nobody
no.
plays
Bring
tougher
up
than
all
Rutgers.
the rest of the bottom of the Big Ten. Fucking
Listen, bro. They won 3 games, dude. They won 3 games.
They play tougher than all the bottom of the Big Ten.
When you find a Big Ten team that lost to Sacramento State, then we can have a conversation. But when you can't find a team in the Big Ten that lost to Sacramento State, okay, Sacramento State, bruh. All right? Not a fucking team.
That's a mic drop.
That's it.
That's a mic
All
drop.
It's
right.
over.
All right, that's done.
Lastly, sorry, Zach says Iowa can't beat Oregon State.
No, they would not beat Oregon State.
It would be 7-3, and they would lose.
If we're talking about the Oregon State that just played Oregon,
Yeah,
Ohio's
7-3.
demolishing them.
Yeah, Oregon, one of the top 3 teams in the country. Yes.
Oh my God.
Well,
Yeah.
enough of that.
I hope if there was a way where they can both lose, it would be phenomenal. It would be phenomenal.
Ralph would be like, "Oh, no Pac-12 team."
Yes.
Dude, 100%.
He's going to hate the Pac-12 till it's dead.
Till it's dead.
Till it's dead, which is going to be after
Yeah.
this
The
week.
thing is, it's not that I hate them. It's the fact that you hype the fuck out of them when they're sorry. It's facts.
Who's hyping?
Who's hyping?
Anybody?
What do you mean? Who's hyping?
A team that's undefeated and a team that's probably
no,
a top 3 team in the country.
You're not talking about Washington. You're bringing in the entire conference.
So are you? You're bringing in
I'm
Iowa.
100%. I'm bringing in the entire conference for sure because that conference has 3 teams ranked in the top 25, and the Big Ten has 4.
So one more team that
Yeah.
shouldn't be ranked. Iowa shouldn't be ranked,
Yeah.
and Penn State should not be. A top
Iowa
10
shouldn't
team.
be ranked. They have 10 wins.
Penn
Iowa's
State's not a top 10
garbage.
team.
Iowa or Rafa. Iowa's
They
garbage.
have 10 wins though.
Iowa's garbage.
They have 10. Do they not have 10 wins?
Iowa's not a top 25 team.
Does
Based
USC
off of
have
roster,
10 wins?
Based off of
Does
talent and
UCLA have
roster.
10 wins?
Who's bringing up UCLA? Nobody's talking about
naming
UCLA.
all the Pac-12 teams that don't have 10 wins. Fucking everyone except the top 2.
Yes, and Iowa's trash. If Iowa played in the Big Ten East, they'd have 6 or 7 or 8.
No, you
maybe.
can assume that.
No, I know
you
that.
can assume
I
that.
know that.
Next year when
they
Washington goes
lose
to the
to-
Big Ten and they're fucking 6-5,
Oh, I can't wait.
want your ass
I
sitting
can't
right
wait.
there.
I will be sitting right here waiting for you.
6-5.
Right here waiting
By that
for
time,
you.
you will be on camera. You
Right
will
here
have to
waiting
be on
for you.
camera for that shit.
Right here waiting for you.
Unbelievable, man.
All right. Well, let's check.
Numbers
everyone's-
don't matter for
let's
these
check
guys.
everyone's blood pressure because we're going to have to call freaking the ambulance over here.